For the first time, new court documents reveal a possible motive for Vanessa Guillen's murder.
The remains of Army Specialist Vanessa Guillen have been positively identified.
One of misconduct, violence, and a young soldier's injustice.
All those men and women in our service suffering from sexual harassment.
The murder of Vanessa Guillen in 2020 is a heart-wrenching story that not only shocked the nation, but also sparked a powerful movement for justice and reform within the US military.
That's when she did let mom know that there was somebody bothering her and harassing her.
The Houston soldier was killed at Fort Hood in 2020.
She may have been murdered because she saw something she wasn't supposed to.
Vanessa Guillen, a 20-year-old Army specialist, disappeared from Fort Hood, Texas in April 2020. And her case brought to light issues of sexual harassment, military accountability, and the urgent need for systemic change.
Then bury her 30 miles away from Fort Hood.
Vanessa vanished from Fort Hood in April 2020. Her family told reporters, base officials, and investigators that she had complained of sexual harassment.
Her tragic death became a rallying cry for countless individuals, demanding justice for Vanessa and others who have suffered in silence. This video provides a detailed account of Vanessa Guillen's life, the events surrounding her disappearance and murder, the investigation that followed, and the lasting impact of her case on the military and society as a whole. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for in-depth coverage of true crime, unsolved mysteries, and the dark side of history. Vanessa Guillen, a life of ambition and service. Vanessa Guillen was born on September 30th, 1999, in Houston, Texas, to a close-knit family of Mexican descent. Described as vibrant, determined, and full of dreams, Vanessa had always aspired to serve her country. She enlisted in the US Army in 2018 and was stationed at Fort Hood, one of the largest military bases in the country, where she worked as a small arms and artillery repairer. Vanessa's family remembers her as a loving daughter and sister who was passionate about her career and proud to wear the uniform. However, behind the scenes, Vanessa had confided in her family about experiencing sexual harassment at Fort Hood. She reportedly felt unsafe and unsupported, but like many service members, she feared retaliation if she came forward. The disappearance. A family's nightmare begins. On April 22, 2020, Vanessa Guillen was last seen in the parking lot of her Regimental Engineer Squadron headquarters at Fort Hood. She was scheduled to work that day, but never showed up. Her car keys, barracks room key, ID card, and wallet were left behind in the armory room where she had been working. Her disappearance was immediately suspicious, and her family quickly raised the alarm. Vanessa's family, led by her mother, Gloria Guillen, and sisters, Lupe and Myra, launched a relentless campaign to find her. They organized protests, used social media to spread awareness, and demanded answers from the army. Their efforts garnered national attention, with the hashtag #FindVanessaGuillen trending on social media and drawing support from celebrities, activists, and lawmakers. The investigation, a shocking discovery. For weeks, the Army's investigation into Vanessa's disappearance yielded few answers. However, on June 30th, 2020, a gruesome discovery was made near the Leon River in Bell County, Texas. Human remains were found, and they were later identified as Vanessa Guillen. The news devastated her family and the countless people who had been following the case. The investigation revealed that Vanessa had been brutally murdered by a fellow soldier, Specialist Aaron Robinson, who bludgeoned her to death with a hammer in the armory room at Fort Hood. Robinson, who was also linked to allegations of sexual harassment, had enlisted the help of his girlfriend, Cecily Aguilar, to dismember and dispose of Vanessa's body. The details of the crime were horrifying, painting a picture of extreme violence and a calculated attempt to cover up the murder. Before he could be arrested, Aaron Robinson died by suicide on July 1st, 2020, when confronted by law enforcement. Cecily Aguilar was arrested and charged with one count of conspiracy to tamper with evidence and 3 counts of tampering with evidence. She faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. The outcry, a movement for justice. Vanessa Guillen's murder ignited a firestorm of outrage and grief, not only because of the brutality of the crime, but also because of the systemic failures it exposed. Vanessa's family revealed that she had been sexually harassed by Robinson and other soldiers, but feared reporting it due to the military's culture of silence and retaliation. Her case highlighted the pervasive issue of sexual harassment and assault within the military, as well as the lack of accountability for perpetrators. The Guillen family, alongside activists and lawmakers, demanded justice for Vanessa and called for sweeping reforms within the military. Their efforts led to the introduction of the I Am Vanessa Guillen Act, a bipartisan bill aimed at transforming how the military handles cases of sexual harassment and assault. The proposed legislation includes measures such as moving the decision to prosecute sexual assault cases outside the chain of command, creating a confidential reporting system, and establishing stricter protocols for handling missing soldiers. Vanessa Guillen's murder has had a profound and lasting impact on the military and society. Her case forced the US Army to confront its failures and take steps toward reform. In December 2020, an independent review of Fort Hood's command climate revealed a culture of indifference and negligence, leading to the dismissal or suspension of 14 officers and enlisted soldiers. The Army also implemented new policies to address sexual harassment and improve the handling of missing soldiers. Beyond the military, Vanessa's story has become a symbol of resilience and the fight for justice. Her family's unwavering determination to seek the truth and hold those responsible accountable has inspired countless others to speak out against injustice. The I Am Vanessa Guillen movement continues to advocate for systemic change, ensuring that Vanessa's legacy lives on. The murder of Vanessa Guillen is a tragic reminder of the work that still needs to be done to protect service members and create a culture of accountability and respect within the military. Her story has shed light on the dark realities of sexual harassment and assault, and it has galvanized a movement for change that cannot be ignored. Vanessa's family has turned their grief into action, ensuring that her death was not in vain. As they continue to fight for the passage of the I Am Vanessa Guillen Act, they honor her memory and strive to create a safer, more just future for all service members. Vanessa Guillen's life was cut short, but her legacy endures. She will be remembered not only as a brave soldier who served her country, but also as a catalyst for change, inspiring us to demand justice, accountability, and a better world for those who follow in her footsteps. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Until next time.